So I've started reading Meditations by Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest books in philosophy. And I have just started, like you can see where my pencil is. I've just read a few pages, and it's by just reading the first few pages about the early life of Marcus Aurelius and how he was groomed into being one of the greatest Roman emperors and Stoic philosophers, I realized that exceptional people have one thing in common. They either grow up in a healthy environment, in an environment that supports their growth, or they have to break free from a toxic one when they have the ability to. And we all have the ability to. In this video, I want to address the importance of environment, both external environment and our own internal environment, in the context of relationships. Maybe you're struggling with people pleasing, setting healthy boundaries, finding meaningful connections, or maybe you find yourself shrinking to fit into others' perception of you. I'm going to divide this video into 3 parts: the root cause, the perception, and the solution. But before I start, I want to add that this video and everything that I'm about to share, the mindset and the practices, it can only be of value if you're ready to get uncomfortable for the sake of growth. If you're ready to be challenged, you want to take your life and your relationships more seriously. So let's talk about the root cause, the why. Where did it all start? It's not very complicated, honestly, because we are mammals and all mammals need attachment to survive in their early years. If your parents or your caregivers were not a healthy example of supporting your growth, maybe they were emotionally unavailable, maybe they had the wrong beliefs around love and connection, or maybe they were destructive in some ways, then there's a high chance that you're going to suppress your needs to be attached with them. You're going to suppress your authenticity to seek attachment, to be close to them, because your survival depends on it. Now this happens usually between in the ages of 9 months to 2 years. During this time, your attachment style is created and we don't even remember those years. But there's a high chance that those patterns continued throughout your childhood, so you can probably recall instances or events where you felt hurt or neglected. So this coping mechanism of unhealthy attachment comes at a huge cost of authenticity. Gabor Mate, whose work I've recently discovered, describes authenticity as being in touch with ourselves, our feelings, our emotions, our gut instincts. So when you deny those parts of yourself, your gut feeling, your instincts, your needs, to feel attached to someone else, you abandon yourself repeatedly, again and again, until it becomes your default state of being, and that's how you show up in all of your adult relationships. This also translates into a lot of physical and mental illnesses, which is a different topic on its own, but people-pleasing, not setting healthy boundaries is a symptom of your self-abandonment. Now that we're aware of the cycle, why it happened, what's the root cause, let's talk about the perspective. What are you going to do with this realization? We have 2 choices here. Either we can live in a victim mindset and let our past define our present and basically limit our present, or we choose to end the cycle by changing our relationship to the pain and create a safe environment for us to thrive. The former is easy and predictable. The latter is much more difficult and a lifelong journey, but that is the only way to grow. Keeping in mind that the outer world follows our inner world, the first step is to create an internal environment of peace, which can be difficult if you are living in an environment which is not healthy. Even if you are in a safe environment, you can still be living in the past and you could still be hurting yourself in the form of self-sabotage. You could still be in the cycle of abuse. So the first step in any case is to create an internal environment of peace. You need to change your relationship with the environment and ask yourself, what skills am I required to have to rise above this situation? You need to let go of the narrative that I'm unlucky or, God is punishing me. I think it was Gabor who said that trauma isn't what happened to us, it is our response to what happened to us. So start changing your response, your perspective, bit by bit, in small and big ways. And here's how you do it. Have an abundance mindset. Not just financially, but in everything. People pleasers are often stuck in scarcity mindset, but the moment you realize that A, you are worthy of love, and B, that love, connection, friendships, it's everywhere, it's abundant, and most importantly, it's within you, in yourself, from the source, then you won't go around chasing for it. You won't be desperate for it. Once you internalize this, which will take a while, you will stop forcing connections. You will stop taking disrespect, and you will stop shrinking yourself to meet others' needs. it will be much more easier for you to say no. Because what do you have to lose? Love is everywhere, it's abundant. This is where you need to start choosing authenticity over attachment. You need to start trusting your own judgment, your gut feeling, your instincts about a situation, and be okay with letting go of people who do not serve your best interest, no matter how long you have known them, no matter how familiar they are. So once you start doing this, you will automatically start attracting people who are healthy for you, who do not require you to bend over backwards to get their appreciation, because they also have a secure attachment style. So the bottom line is that you should want love and connection, you shouldn't need it. There's a difference. So we need to learn the difference. Another difference we need to learn is being nice versus being kind. Kindness is typically driven by genuine care, empathy, and a desire to help others. Being nice, on the other hand, may be driven by social expectations or a desire to be liked. Niceness and kindness are used as synonyms, but they are not the same. In my teenage years, I thought I was being kind to my friends by always showing up, always giving, always being a therapist, and not taking anything in return. Essentially being a mother, which is funny because my nickname in the friend group was a mother. Like they used to call me that. And it took me almost a decade to realize that it's my coping mechanism, because I thought my value is established based on what I do for others. Now, after I had the realization that, oh, I don't really need them to like me, the next question was, do I even like them? What values are they bringing in my life? What are my values in relationships and friendships anyway? You see now the direction we are going into. This is going to force yourself to think about what you want in your relationships. You are essentially setting an entry criteria. And then ask yourself, am I giving myself the things I seek? Do I fulfill my own promises? Do I take care of myself the way I want others to take care of me? How do I treat myself? Am I consistent? Am I disciplined with myself? Do I even love myself? What I'm trying to say is that the way you show up for yourself is setting a standard for how others need to show up for you. And it's only fair. I mean, you cannot expect someone to love you more than you love yourself, to save you, to rescue you from your problems. You are responsible for your own peace and happiness, and your job is to only let those people into your life who want to add into the happiness. Now, when it comes to saying no and setting boundaries, you have to start listening to your intuition. If it's not a clear yes, then it's a no. And no means no. This will be difficult at first because now all of a sudden you're a different person and people are like, oh, what happened to you? Why are you being so difficult? You're not as convenient as you used to be. But the right people will make it easier for you. They will understand and they will try to show up in a way to meet your needs because they value you more than their ego. So this is where you need to overcome your fear of rejection. You need to learn how to let go and be okay with knowing that some people are just chapters in your life. This is called having a secure attachment style, something that I'm still learning myself, honestly. I highly recommend you read the book Attached to, or if you don't want to read the book, you can just Google what are the different attachment styles, what is my attachment style, and just find out what are your insecurities, what are the things that you struggle with. Now, it's not easy to just change into a secure person, but it is much easier if the other person understands your insecurities, your fears, and they show up in a way where they can reassure you or they can help you in becoming more secure. Something I always talk about in almost all of my videos is about energy, being very conscious of your energy, protecting your energy. Be selective of who deserves your time and attention. Start trusting your intuition, start listening to what your gut feeling is telling you. For me, I used to be very rational and logical. Unless I had a solid proof about something, I wouldn't take the right course of action. But then I realized that we have been gifted with this gift, intuition. So, why shouldn't you use it? And it's one of the ways you survive. You can sense, especially as a female, if you're not safe, if you feel that you're not getting a good vibe from someone. And we can know things way early on. You can sense things. It just proves itself. Maybe months or years later, you find out, oh yeah, I knew it. My gut feeling was telling me. Use your energy to work on yourself. Go learn a new skill, a new language, go on solo dates. Just be so busy in upgrading and elevating yourself, especially if you're young. This is your time. And just create a rich life for yourself with the resources that you already have. This is how you change your environment. Also, be very careful of the words you speak because words carry vibration. Don't always make self-depreciating jokes unless you're with someone you're very comfortable with and you know they won't use it against you. But words are so powerful. Do not say something you don't mean. Don't always be sorry. Sorry just loses its meaning if you're always sorry. Don't give your entire day to a mutual friend's daughter's sweet 16 unless you really want to. You need to learn how to be happy and fulfilled on your own before you go and look around for friends and relationships. Like, just have, like, I think everyone should have that lone wolf phase in their life where they are just discovering themselves. They're just trying to understand themselves and giving themselves all the things that they seek. Lastly, I think if you're a giver, which I'm assuming you are if you struggle with people pleasing, if you're a giver, you should not stop giving, but instead you should surround yourself with other givers, because then there will be reciprocity. Like, you will pour into each other, you will take care of each other, then it's a healthy exchange. Surround yourself with people who take you seriously, who value your opinion, your time. They understand that you're not perfect and you have issues that you're working through, and they help you in your healing journey. They help you heal your inner child. They're not here to fix you, but they're also not here to disrupt your healing, because some people just come in your life to make it more difficult. They shouldn't be here to be indifferent. Like, the whole point of having someone in your life is to see what value they add in your life. So what value is someone adding in your life? I'll end this video by giving you a little exercise to help you get started. Next time when you're out with friends or with family or in any social gathering, come back home and do a journal entry. Like, write down how you feel, what kind of conversations you had, and how did you engage. Do you think you were authentic? Did you say something you did not mean? Did someone say something that hurt you? Like, how did you respond to that? Did you agree to something that you did not want to agree? Like, the whole point is to have a short self-reflection moment and to see how you are, like, just looking at yourself as from an outsider and see that how did you interact? How did you show up? Because for me, it usually takes a while for me to process interaction. Sometimes I'll say yes to something, and then when I go home, or after a while when I process everything, I'm like, why did I agree to that? Then I realize it's my old habit of just being so agreeable. So that is why I think you should take your time to make decisions. You can always go back and say no and express how you truly feel about a situation. So in the future, when you look back at these journal entries, you'll not only be proud of yourself, but you will find it easier to stay consistent with this identity of yours that you're trying to create, that if I've done this before, then I can do it again. I can be more authentic, and I am deserving of love. I hope this video delivered what it promised. Thank you for watching. I know this is probably going to be a very long video because I did not really follow a script. Like, I was mostly just talking like how I would talk to a friend. So thank you so much if you watched till the end, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.